The moving truck's brakes squealed as it stopped in front of 1242 Maple Drive. Michael Johnson surveyed his family's new home while his wife, Angela, snapped photos of their children racing toward the front door. The pristine lawns and white picket fences of Maplewood promised the suburban dream they'd worked so hard to achieve. Their excitement faded as neighbors emerged to watch. No welcome wagons, just whispered conversations behind cupped hands. Mrs. Peterson across the street yanked her children inside. Mr. Roberts suddenly needed to check his mail 3 times. During the neighborhood association meeting that evening, Michael's introduction was met with stiff smiles and cold shoulders. Bill Thompson, a barrel-chested ex-cop, dominated the discussion about maintaining community standards. His eyes kept finding Michael's family, his words dripping with subtle threats about preserving neighborhood character. The following week brought mysterious complaints about their landscaping. Their children came home from school reporting isolated lunch tables and excluded playground games. Angela discovered her car tires deflated one morning, though security cameras showed nothing. Michael found anonymous notes in their mailbox. Wrong neighborhood. Go back where you came from. Each one typed untraceable. When he reported them to local police, the officer, a former colleague of Bill's, suggested they were being too sensitive. Their realtor called, apologizing about forgetting to mention certain community dynamics. Previous minority homeowners had all moved within months. The Johnsons' arrival had broken an unspoken barrier, and the pushback was just beginning. Angela's proposal for a diversity inclusion program at Maplewood Elementary sparked immediate controversy. As a veteran teacher, she'd noticed the subtle ways minority students were marginalized. Her presentation to the school board highlighted achievement gaps and social isolation. Bill Thompson led the opposition, though his children had graduated years ago. "We don't need social experiments," he declared, backed by a vocal parent group. "This is about education, not politics." The coded language wasn't lost on anyone. Principal Roberts wavered between support and fear. Anonymous emails flooded the school board, warning of property values dropping and declining standards. Several parents threatened to transfer their children to private schools. Angela discovered her classroom materials rearranged each morning. Lesson plans on diversity mysteriously lost. Other teachers began avoiding her in the break room. A few whispered support, but feared retaliation. Bill's influence reached beyond the school walls. During parent-teacher conferences, some families requested their children be moved to more traditional classrooms. Angela overheard conversations about Herb agenda and reverse discrimination. Each accusation strengthened her resolve. A student confided that his parents forbade him from participating in Angela's after-school cultural awareness club. Others shared similar stories of home discussions filled with prejudice. The battle lines were drawn not just around education, but the future of Maplewood itself. Michael's IT background proved crucial when investigating the neighborhood's hostile undercurrent. A suspicious network traffic pattern led him to discover Maplewood Pure, an encrypted forum where Bill coordinated his supporters. The site contained detailed files on every minority family that had attempted to move in over the past decade. Property damage reports disguised as maintenance issues, police complaints filed strategically, financial pressure applied through business connections. Bill's network extended through local government, law enforcement, and real estate. They manipulated housing prices, steered desirable buyers, and maintained Maplewood's demographics through careful orchestration. Michael found allies in unexpected places. Sarah Chun, a realtor who'd lost clients for showing homes to minorities, provided documentation of discriminatory practices. James Martinez, a former police officer pushed out by Bill's influence, shared internal reports of ignored harassment complaints. Using secure channels, Michael gathered testimonies from families forced out of Maplewood. Each story revealed the same pattern: initial hostility, escalating pressure, and eventual departure. Bill's group celebrated each victory in coded posts. The investigation revealed deeper corruption. Bill's police pension had mysterious supplements. Building permits were selectively enforced. A pattern of coordinated harassment emerged, all while maintaining plausible deniability. Operating from a secure home office, Michael compiled evidence methodically. Each threatening note, every coincidental incident, documented with timestamps and witness statements. Angela's school board recordings revealed patterns of discrimination in official policies. They identified key players in Bill's network: Judge Harrison, who dismissed harassment claims; Realtor Thompson, Bill's sister, who lost minority applications; Officer Parker, who slow-walked investigations of reported vandalism. A breakthrough came when Michael discovered Bill's group used school board meetings to coordinate activities. Hidden microphones caught discussions of neighborhood cleanup operations, code for targeting minority homeowners through building code violations, and anonymous complaints. Local journalist Maria Rodriguez, investigating declining property sales to minorities, joined forces with Michael. Her research uncovered similar patterns across multiple suburbs, all connected to former officers from Bill's precinct. The evidence painted a picture of systematic exclusion, manipulated property assessments, selective enforcement of regulations, coordinated harassment campaigns. Each incident seemed minor alone, but together revealed orchestrated discrimination. Digital forensics linked anonymous threats to specific IP addresses. Financial records showed suspicious payments through shell companies. Michael worked nights analyzing data, building an irrefutable case while maintaining normal appearances during the day. The community festival became ground zero for confrontation. Michael and Angela organized it supposedly to celebrate neighborhood unity, but strategically placed cameras and microphones throughout the park. Bill took the bait. As families mingled, Bill's group initiated their planned disruption. But this time, every threat, every push, every slur was recorded. Local media, tipped off anonymously, captured everything. When Bill physically threatened a Hispanic child, officers not connected to his network moved in. The evidence release was coordinated with FBI investigations into civil rights violations. Bill's arrest sparked immediate backlash from supporters, but body camera footage left no room for denial. His network, exposed to daylight, began unraveling. Judge Harrison recused himself as connections to discriminatory housing practices emerged. Officer Parker resigned, facing internal affairs investigations. Realtor Thompson's license was suspended pending review of documented discrimination. Michael's digital evidence proved crucial in federal court. Decades of coordinated discrimination laid bare through meticulous documentation. Bill's defenders became accusers as immunity deals revealed the full scope of operations. The community watched in shock as respected figures faced consequences. Each revelation forced confrontations with long-ignored truths. Maplewood's carefully maintained facade crumbled, exposing the rot beneath. Maplewood transformed in the aftermath. Michael and Angela emerged as reluctant leaders in community healing. The neighborhood association, restructured with diverse representation, adopted explicit anti-discrimination policies. Angela's school diversity program, initially controversial, became a model for other districts. Students previously silenced shared experiences, leading to curriculum changes and cultural celebration events. The school board, under new leadership, actively recruited minority teachers. Property values, contrary to Bill's warnings, stabilized as Maplewood gained reputation for inclusivity. New families brought energy and perspectives to community planning. Local businesses, freed from pressure to discriminate, flourished with broader customer bases. The Johnson story attracted national attention, inspiring similar investigations in other communities. Michael consulted with civil rights organizations, sharing methodology for documenting systematic discrimination. Angela's educational framework was published in teaching journals. Former opponents, seeing their children thrive in diverse classrooms, became advocates for change. The annual community festival, once a flashpoint, evolved into genuine celebration of differences. Youth programs actively promoted cross-cultural understanding. Real estate practices underwent reform. Police oversight increased. Most importantly, Maplewood residents learned to recognize and resist organized discrimination. The community's transformation proved change possible when people chose truth over comfortable lies.